How the heck are you guys? I am Fastidious. Welcome back to the channel, and a huge welcome to my friend over here. He is the GvG master, and he's the perfect guest for this video, as you can see behind me, because we're talking GvG. How are you doing, Corey?
Pretty good. Been a long day. Can't complain. We're talking about guild video, which I do daily. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
And which I do not do daily. I participate enough to make my guild happy. I've got an amazing guild leader, Hawkus, who helps out. I'm fortunate to have a good account with some pretty good demon soldiers. So we're going to discuss that. But we need an actual expert. So right now, yes, you're getting a nice little taste here on the Fastidious channel of GvG. But if you want a proper taste consistently, day after day, week after week, check out Corey's channel. One of the absolute premier creators, period, in the game. But when it comes to GvG, my go-to. So, Corey, we had a lot of chatting today. You're a busy guy. You're a professor. You're a dancer. But in your heart of hearts, I think you'd say you're a guild warrior, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have to be, right? We're top 5 for sure. So I have to be.
It's no joke. Yeah, we were just talking about before we started filming. You're in the newly formed, right? The new merge of Dragon Slayers and the Shire. So true powerhouse.
Yes.
You guys are going for the big dogs on top.
Dragon Shire is operating for like #1, and then Slayer Shire is operating for top 5. Top 3 is what it looks like for this season. So definitely
Heck
super
yeah.
competitive.
You guys know, this is the one thing you definitely know about me if you watch the channel. No, not a lot of GvG, but a lot of hoarding. I'm kind of a hoarder extraordinaire in Watcher of Realms, and with my GvG stuff, it's no exception, right? My guild is pretty good. We're a lot of the times Overlord, and a lot of times missing Overlord. We're like a real cusp guild, but we've got high quality players, is what I'm trying to say. So I do enough that I'm not letting the guild down. I actually am in the higher half thanks to everyone else's help. But you can see I'm sitting on some stuff. So not too many of the reds, the Demon Captain Void Core, but I think a truly significant amount of the golds. I have 872 Legendary Demon Soldier Void Core, and then I have over 1,200 Epic Demon Soldier Void Core. So I don't like making mistakes. I'm sure you don't like making mistakes. I don't think you would like me making mistakes. So we've brought your big GvG brain here to advise me, and more importantly, the viewers, when you get this still newish currency. What do you think? It came out like 4 months ago, 3 months ago?
Yeah.
Within the past several months. You don't want to misuse it, and you want to properly invest in these demon soldiers. So we were chatting about the best way to approach this, and I think what we settled on is there's basically 2 kinds of players, I think. Well, I guess there's 3. There's people that don't play GvG, in which case, thank you for watching. This is not the video for you. Subscribe to Corey's channel, subscribe here. And then there's 2 kinds of real players besides that. So we have players that are like, you know, playing, and they're in a guild that's trying to progress, which is awesome, and they're participating. And then there's players that are like trying to like really go for it and succeed and follow the trends. I guess there'd be a 4th elite class like you, but people like you don't need advice. I think anyone in like the top 10 or 20, you guys are good to go. So what we're really focusing on is, I guess, let me know if you like this terminology, like, you know, grinders and risers, like people trying to work their way up, but not towards Overlord. And then people that are like, you know, Overlord adjacent, you know, like sometimes placing, sometimes not, but certainly not top 20.
Absolutely. I think that's really good terminology to go ahead and use.
So we'll call them the risers and the cuspers. The cuspers are the ones that are like, you can hit Overlord, but you're not elite like you and all your friends. And then there's people that are like, hey, my guild's just getting into GvG, and, you know, we're rising up. Or maybe it's younger accounts, stuff like that. So with that lens, I've done enough talking. I hand it over to you, my friend. What are we thinking? Where do you want to start? Maybe we just knock out the captains and then we work our way down from there?
Let's do it. So I would say, as it stands, right, we had 2 captains that were established in the game prior to the introduction of the new 2 factions. You have Maw and you have the Skeleton champion. I don't necessarily think that they're worth using any of your Void Cores on, because you can acquire these shards either through farming Gear Raid 1 for the Skeleton champion, or by doing things like Guild Boss, for example. You can get shards for Maw. So those 2 are kind of off the table. You're really looking at using the Slaughterer or Glacius, right? Now, the Slaughterer is the captain for the Chaos faction. He deals a significant amount of damage, and he has a self-revive, which is really, really good. And then you have Glacius, who is also really, really good in his own right, because Glacius provides you with Frostbite and a decent amount of damage, which is really good. Winter's Bite, actually. So I would recommend going with either one of these two.
Are you letting your specific account inform which faction you want to go with? Like, oh, I've got better Chaos units, I got better Frost units, or are you like, the meta's the meta, you know? I think we know which one's better, right?
Yeah. So I think right now I don't focus on a specific account as to what units you have. And the reason for that is because as it stands, a majority of players have access to the Chaos faction. Excluding, for example, the new Templar that we have, the new Fire Tank, and then also excluding the Rats that we now have. But overall, the Chaos faction was introduced into the game relatively steadily, so you're more likely to have an accumulation of those units. Overall, the Slaughterer provides good benefits as a demon captain and as a unit in general. However, I think you can get away with not using him because I think his faction overall is stronger than the Frost faction. So you don't need to invest in using him.
That's really interesting. Yeah. So like if you want to succeed with a Frost comp with Frost units, you really want to have Glacius, whereas the Chaos are so strong, you can have a great comp, a great attacking team without him.
Exactly. And I also think one of the things with Glacius is he provides such a unique utility. When you think about Winter's Bite, you can easily forget the fact that once a unit has Winter's Bite and they're fully frozen, they can't block anything anymore. They can't attack anything anymore. And that's where you really start to see Glacius shine, because he will get past the tank and deal AoE damage, and then it really kind of wipes out the map in a lot of cases.
Yeah, a cool thing with Glacius also is that like it's just every 3, the third is gonna do it. I feel like so much, at least with like heroes in the game outside of like demon soldiers, there's always some layer of RNG, and here it's just like clockwork. You know he's going to put it out. Then there's the periodic extra stuff, but when people go back and watch the replays, they're going to be pissed.
It's funny because he has what I think the Grotesque Fiend should have, and we'll get to the Grotesque Fiend later down the line when we talk about legendary Void Cores. But if I were a new player and I got Glacius or I got the Slaughterer, I don't think it's bad to invest in either or. Because, for example, if you get the Slaughterer, invest in the Slaughterer. You don't know if you're going to get Glacius based off how the demon chests kind of operate. If you get Glacius, invest in Glacius. However, in the rare instance that you're lucky like Fastidious and you have both, I would definitely invest in Glacius as of right now and for the near future.
That's actually a perfect transition, but right before we move on to the legendaries, of the fun little surprise I've already discussed with you, but we have for the viewers. So I didn't realize how I knew it was like, wow, crazy. I got lords, but I got captains, but I didn't know how lucky I was the last time I did a demon chest opening. I like hit it at the end of a video, and then the GvGers in the comments were like, dude, what the heck? So in my own style, I have hoarded another 45, and we will open those together, Corey, at the end of the video.
Yep.
You think we're ready to move on to the legendaries? I think the TLDRs, like both are cool choices, but Glacius probably has the edge because it's still good damage, and then the Winter's Bite is just
broken.
So where do we want to start? I mean, there's a couple new guys. We all know the big chomper. Who do you want to begin with? I guess here, since there's more options, maybe are there like some no-brainers, and then there are some more like niche picks, and then are there some just don't even worry about it, forget them?
I would say there's 3 no-brainers. I think there's 1 niche pick, and then I think the rest aren't really worth consideration.
Fair enough.
But they have different breakpoints as well, which is the interesting thing.
Oh, yeah.
I think the Grotesque Fiend is an absolute must to get to level 5. There are some things that the Grotesque Fiend can do. I kind of liken it to hitting the jackpot, right? Because once you get the Grotesque Fiend to level 5, you get a 35% chance of double hitting. Now, what's interesting is that double hit will one-shot a tank in many cases.
Should we quickly bring him to level 5? This is one I've been wanting to do forever, but I wanted to do the video with you. But I think we both agree for sure, right?
Yeah, 100%. Okay. No debate.
Now, please continue. But now at least I'd be able to show the skill that we're discussing.
Yes. So level 5, we'll go ahead and give him the 35% chance to double hit, right? So There you go. Now, with that, it's interesting because there's a debate, and you kind of see with Nightmare Faction, because Torador gives the chance to. It's extra damage. It's not necessarily a
Yeah.
double hit. So that's important to note. He will one-shot a tank. He is broken. But one of the beautiful things about the Grotesque Fiend as to why you also want to get him to level 5 is because naturally, as he gets ramped up through adjacent allied demon soldiers dying, he also deals more damage, and he has a self-sustained mechanic, which is right below, where once he gets to, I believe it's like 10% HP or some, maybe it's 30%, he will go ahead and basically revive himself, 40%.
Here we go, yeah.
He'll revive himself. And there's only one unit I've ever seen successfully deal with this, and just a one-shot. It's Wukong, A5. There's a small window where Wukong can one-shot him.
But it's also like
otherwise,
you're fighting the AI controlled hero defense. So it's gonna, the stars will really have to align for the defense. You're the one in control, right? So
100%.
that's why it's rare.
Yeah, it takes a lot for that to happen. But the Grotesque Fiend level 5 is so instrumental in basically dealing with any defense that has a tank. Now, when you get him to level 7, which
I guess
some
we
of
got to
us
make him
do,
level 5 then. Boom. All right. My guild will be
level
very happy.
7, oh yeah, he's gonna do wonders for you. Level 7 is interesting. You get magic damage reduction 25%, which is really pivotal when you think about how Guild v Guild functions right now, because primarily most of the damage dealers happen to be magic damage dealers.
Valara exists.
Exactly. And one of the things that's interesting is Chaos Faction members get, I believe, 10% more damage received from Arbiters and Watchers. So that 25% magic resist basically negates that. That's why the Grotesque Fiend is probably your number one choice, at least for level 5. And if you're really, really interested in Guild v Guild and you're pushing for Overlord, you want to get into level 7, because you'll see in High Overlord, that's where the A3, A5, Valara, Paradises are.
We've got more to talk about. It is on my radar. We also have those chests, so who knows? Maybe we get some lucky stuff through that. Probably would be a pretty sweet investment. All right, so we got 2 more no-brainers. Who are those going to be? I was going to guess Lightning Guard and Fool.
Not the Fool,
Not the Fool.
surprisingly. It's weird because I have a theory that certain accounts get drops more often, like specific demon soldiers. Because I have a level 7 Fool and I have not farmed for it. Like, I just haven't.
Dude, that is crazy.
He is tanky. He does a lot of work for me. But Lightning Guard is definitely the next one. Now, the reason being is because there's something interesting with the Lightning Guard and Yovar. I don't know why, but we have established that Yovar, and if you don't know, Yovar is the highest BP lord in the game. He can do some amazing things when it comes to BP. I've seen the max with BP inflation is like 153k.
Crazy.
But for some reason, how he affects the Lightning Guard is disproportionate. So the Lightning Guard will do a substantial amount of damage at level 5. Level 7, he can basically deal with any physical damage threat because he's getting 25% physical damage reduction, which is huge because usually you'll put a Lightning Guard against a Hotsit, physical damage, or a Lightning Guard against a Piercer comp, physical damage, right? So Lightning Guard is definitely a very considerable second unit that you'd want to go and boost up with those Void Cores.
Yeah, that's a great shout. Super pesky. You got to get the timings right for a lot of strats. But so who's the third?
Is going to be the third one is the new Demon Soldier, the what's it
our
called?
boy down
The
here.
Infernal Templar. Yes.
Oh yeah,
this
okay. I wasn't
guy.
even thinking about them counting. Yeah, I'll say when we pop those
Yes.
chests, if I need to get one copy. This guy, if people haven't seen videos, go look. Otherwise, wait a few days. If I get him, I'll make a video. Do you already have a video on him?
No, I do not.
Okay.
I'm going to. I have so much content for him in particular
Yeah.
because of what I've seen him do.
Maybe paint like a mental video in our heads for us. Describe what it looks like when
Yeah.
he's coming and that shield's getting charged up.
Okay, so have you ever seen Valara get one shot just from 10,000 miles away? Yeah, this guy does it. Because Valara is one of those units where she has her lightning whenever she does her ultimate, which can actually cross map in certain instances. If it ever triggers on him, she's getting burned. And most units don't have the range to have a healer heal them based off proper positioning. So he will single-handedly decimate a team and allow you to do whatever.
Yeah, he's like such a meta shifter, right? Because people were getting so aggressive with no healer and stuff, and now not an option in
It's
any
done.
capacity. So if people don't know how it works from his passive here, when he takes damage from any basic, and there's so many units now that are like Infernal Roar units, right? That it's all basics.
Yep.
Each one of those hits is going to have a chance that he's just going to deal damage right back and inflict the burn, and then they'll disappear.
It's like the Chaos Shaman had like a baby with the Templar. And so it's just like, hey, I'll just burn you. And it's like, I won't die. And
Yeah.
naturally, he gets more HP, more magic resist as you scale him up. I would say you don't need to get him to level 7, like the Grotesque Fiend or like the Lightning Guard, for example. Level 5 is sufficient.
What does he get at 5?
He won't die. 5, I believe, is increased chance of burning.
Oh, wow.
I believe it
Amazing.
goes to 35%, if I remember correctly.
Huge. Okay.
Yeah.
That's huge. Should we just get the ignores out of the way and then we'll do the quick hits on the niche?
Yeah, absolutely. The ignores are going to be a destroyer. He is very unreliable as a damage dealer.
Oops.
You also have the
There we
Knight
go.
of Destruction, which you just clicked.
Yeah.
Now the Knight of Destruction has some use, but he's in comparison to these new factions, a lot of the old factions are really just obsolete nowadays. And then the Scholar, he is also just not usable, right? The Bookkeeper is just not usable because there's so many different avenues to kind of play around him, also avoid, putting your units together.
Yeah.
He has a cool passive with the Exhaust passive, but genuinely speaking, we're not putting units adjacent to one another nowadays like we had to before.
All right. So who would be like a couple niche picks? I'm thinking over here.
The
maybe.
niche pick is actually the Frost Guardian. So that tank right there. He was the kind of precursor to the Emberfire Templar because what we would do is you would place him down like this Frost Guardian and let the units kind of stack up that Winter's Bite. And then you could do kind of whatever you wanted. You could drop Necros, Dogs, for example, or if you're lucky, you do Frost Guardian into Glacius, it's a wrap.
Yeah, if you because he's gonna have the frustration of like the chance to put it out, but I mean it's when he's taking damage, so there's a lot of chances. But then yeah, if you get something nice and reliable like Glacius, that's a headache.
Yes,
That's a major
absolutely.
headache. Maybe hyper niche cases for some of the other stuff, but the whole point of this video, right, is where do you use your super rare currency, and it's going to be a tight list. So for the epics, this is where I've got my giant pile. There's so many epics now. It's actually crazy. I mean, what is it? There's 23 epic DS now.
Yes, it's a lot. I have higher level epic demon soldiers than I have rares.
So where are we at nowadays? Is Necro still amazing?
So Necros are usable. Definitely, they still have some play. However, it is very meta dependent nowadays, and I would argue, right, to use Necros nowadays because of how units have scaled up with Malric runes, you need high BP. So I think they're definitely usable. But one of the main struggles is to use Necros, you have to farm Gear Raid 1. Gear Raid 1 is, hate to say it, it's obsolete because of the Forged.
Yeah.
So you can, and I've seen people I've seen people in my guild use the Void Cores to go ahead and combat the Lady A teams because no one's farming Gear Raid 1. So it's a passable thing to do. It's actually relatively common.
It's like a counter meta move.
Exactly. It's like, oh, I need to put my Void Cores here because I'm never going to farm Gear Raid 1. So it's acceptable. It's actually most common to see the Necros get the attention for your Void Cores, as of right now, at least.
Okay, that's really good to know. So in terms of farming, definitely falling off, but specifically for the Void cards, because yeah, people don't know, especially newer players. It's like Gear Raid 1 was so important. I did endless Gear Raid 1 farming to get this guy level 5 before they boosted the rates, and then they boosted the rates like a month later. But also just really good for the gear, and then the Forge comes in, and it's like, mediocre Wicked Vengeance, you're going to find that in 2 seconds to progress your account, whereas you'll be farming all day for the worst Warlord you've ever seen, so it's just, there's no reason, like, why wouldn't you farm Gear Raid 3 and 2? So, okay, so do we got any home run hitters here?
Home run hitters, as of right now, is actually probably going to be the Necro. However, I personally think that actual Garnet Guard, not Garnet Guard, that rock dude right there, that's level 2.
The new guy. Yeah, the Golden Guard.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, the Sprinter.
Golden Guard. He's actually really unique because he avoids eye crystals. Now, mind you, there are some issues with that because the second he hits anything, he's gone, right? But if you're able to take out all ground units, he can kind of traverse the map and give you a win in comparison to like dogs, for example. They would get stuck on the eye
Sure.
crystals, and then if there's any damage dealers, they would kind of fall by the wayside. So he's worth consideration.
Does he need a void core investment for that? Does he need a certain level unlocked to be able to do something like that, or is he already pretty usable?
He needs 5 to survive.
Okay, got
That's
it.
his kind of like crux. Like super usable, but he's also not durable. So if you want to use him, it's a fair investment to get to 5.
Should I 5 him? I got a fat stack right here.
Let's see what next season looks like.
Okay, say no more.
Yeah, I would say next season because we need to see what happens with Eye, because Eye is sneakily the most dangerous unit in GvG Guild as far as I'm concerned.
Would that then be your general wisdom with all of the epic demon soldiers? Let's see next season. Like no rush.
I would say there's a couple that are staples that you can feel comfortable with. I feel like those would be the tried and trues, which is going to be your Necro. You're not going to farm them because you typically won't farm Gear Raid 1. I think the second one is going to be your dogs. I think dogs are definitely passable because you don't get additional like passives, but the tankier your dogs are, they kind of give you additional benefits. I can't tell you how many times I have won with 3 dogs being at 1 HP. I feel like they're hard coded to be at 1 HP when they get to the crystal. It's like something that just happened.
For the drama.
And then yeah, literally. And then you have your healer. I know I have just about a level 10 healer on my account at this point in time. Right there, level 8, beside the Chaos Shaman.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Literally blind.
I feel like the tankier your healer is, the better it is for you. Because if he dies, a lot of strategies just kind of fall and just don't work. Especially if you're going like against Lady Alexandra. Definitely worth considering. Just even though you're not getting additional passives, he does so much for you because you will use him. He's too good to not use, at least for one specific attack strategy. So I would definitely go ahead and consider putting them into him.
What level do you have in mind? Or you're just saying go ham?
Go ham. Like, for example, if you're in a situation, you're like a newer GvG Guild player and you're developing, obviously you want to get your Necros to level 5. I think level 5 Necros is the biggest breakpoint in GvG Guild for epics. I think after that, it's level 5 Axes, then level 5 Shadow Keepers. The things that those units in particular can do, especially if you're a beginning account in GvG Guild, they are kind of the barrier to entry, in my opinion, to actually starting to play the mode, because they become completely different demon soldiers. After that, you kind of escalate into this different tier of you want to level your tanks, you want to level your units that are going to secure you the win moving forward. The aforementioned demon soldiers, they will start the game, give you the win. Other units, they kind of solidify it for you. Go from that 1 out of 3 to that 3 out of 3 kind of barrier for you.
Okay, so then I think a good place to leave this. Any final like honorable mention shout outs?
I have 2.
Please.
Which is funny. It's the 2 epic tanks.
Yeah, okay.
Which is going to be the Pharaoh Guard and the Fallen Templar. So, yeah, I think just going back to the Fallen Templar is obviously going to be a good choice. He is one of those units that is going to provide you a really good source of utility against like Lady Alexandra comms. Yovar, for example, is also really, really popular. Getting him to 7, super pivotal. He can also be used against like those Praetus Ingrid comms, which isn't going to be your main focus, but having that additional magic resistance is really, really huge. Developing your tanks is going to occasionally secure you a win that you might not have otherwise had. So definitely think both of those are worth a shout.
Is the Chaos Shaman kind of out and done now?
Yes, he had his reign of terror. It's no longer
his moment in the sun.
It's no longer there. Yeah, because as it stands, Valara it just doesn't work because Valara has the ability to cross map. And then one of the issues is you are required to put a lot of investment into him and into the units that you're putting down. And if Valara or another unit can just hit it from across the map, you never get a chance to develop it, and it just doesn't work as of right now. And also Neja, for example, because we're mentioning Valar a lot, Neja will also just one shot it.
A good shout. That's
So
another thing I'm hoarding. I have 3 dupes of him I need to put in to make him A3.
he's so strong.
Yeah, love
He's
that
so
guy.
strong.
Okay, so I think just for my account's sake, we got to 7 this guy. How could we not? I'm so close anyway.
Yeah, might as well.
Let's just do that. Then I think probably sit on stuff for next season. There's no reason to, get ahead of ourselves. I think that's a good tip for the viewers as well. But I think the epics are a really good place for people that are both in these kind of riser guilds or on the cusp guilds. Whatever strides you're trying to make, it does seem like it comes down to, in a large ways, the kind of supports we've always relied on, the tanks we've always relied on, and then the spammer boy we've always relied on. Well, here's the spammer, and then where's my other tank? There you go. Pretty cool stuff. Any absolute cheekiness going on with any rare demon soldiers in the top levels?
Rare demon soldiers, yes. So it's so funny because last season was the rare archer season, which if you think back to like season 4, I believe, he was also kind of cheeky because of what he could do with one of those platform tiles. But yeah, he's definitely usable.
Oh, you mean like the
previously.
insta snipe out of the portal for the misplacements?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was what he was used for. And nowadays, we're using the rare bugs because the rare bugs help accelerate grotesque fiends really quickly.
That makes sense.
And beyond that, last season we used the rare flyers for certain strategies, but nowadays we're using the rare tanks because there's a special timing which involves necros, funnily enough. It involves necros, healers, tanks, and then those rare tanks. But what you do is, if you do your placements right, Lady Alexandra will always hit the rare tank, so she will never hit your necros as you're building up on the map. So yeah. He's a little MVP right now.
Yeah, a little bit of a tangent, but I mentioned it just because when I was a lot more into GvG like 2 seasons ago, this was my boy, and it's cool to see that like all these blues still get their little play here, there, and everywhere.
They definitely do.
All right. Any final thoughts, or do we bust these chests open?
I think we should go ahead and see if you can get another Glacius and Slaughterer.
All right. Can we agree that we want to get this guy? I want to get the Ember. I want to get the Ember Fire so bad. Yeah. If I do, you guys will get a GvG stream. So I won't be able to help myself. He's my most wanted ever. Okay. 45 so of these bad boys, Corey. What's the best way to pop these, do you think?
I feel like doing a 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 15.
Okay.
Is the best.
I was going to say 9 5s, but 10, 10, 10, 15. Say no more. When I got all my luck, I was doing 3 at a time, or maybe 5 at a time, and it worked. But
wait, do 5 then. If that's the key, do 5.
Okay, let's try.
All right, let's see.
All right, we kick things off. Not too beautiful. We got our little healer at least. Are our girls still out?
She is not used right now. However, like if you have her level 9, like some of us are level 10, she does damage. Like she does damage.
I definitely don't. I think I have her at 7. Okay, not too great. We got the Uncommon Destroyer. Not really looking for that. Let's get spicy. Come on.
Oh, that's a pretty decent one.
A lot of gold, but again, not what we're looking for. Yeah. We need that Ember Fire, and my 45 stash is disappearing before our eyes. Down to 35, a measly 35. Let's see it. What do you think?
This is a case study. I think you get it. The next one.
This one?
Yeah.
Then we're gonna get a fool. Hey, I was right.
It is a fool. Decent.
Yeah, this could be going worse. I want something new. Something I don't have. Come on. Yikes, dude.
Oh, that's close.
How is that close?
Because I feel like the next one is going to be
the tax.
Just optimistic. Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
You have to pay the taxes.
We're just fans of good tax. Yeah, I think I was really... Oh, there we go. At least it's something I don't have too much of. I'll take a drifter. I also hit on the Scalekin, too. I hit 3 champions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the captains, that one session I did. So I think I got spoiled. I think I thought the rates were better than they are.
Yeah, because I know...
Oh, ooh, we'll take a lightning guard. All right,
and 2 dogs.
3 more shots. You think we just YOLO these?
Yeah, just YOLO it.
Yeah, because this is not working. We got to just YOLO it.
You just got to believe.
All right, Ember Fire, baby. Hey, at least we hit. Oh, that's new.
We got a Maw. Yeah.
Yeah, we hit a Maw.
That's a good set.
Yeah, we'll take this. We got a Fool, Destroyer, What is this guy's name? The Night Destruction, COD.
Yeah.
We'll take a cheeky Maw. That's the first time I ever pulled Maw. And then we got, this is new, right?
Ice
This
Clerk.
guy.
Yeah, he's good. He's definitely
We'll
good.
definitely take a cheeky unlock. Let's take a little peek and then let's call it a day. Thank you so much for joining us. I learned a lot about the current state of GvG. I hope everyone else did as well. And yeah, you can see we got some new stuff. We got little upgrades. The Guardian over here. I said Drifter. I meant Guardian. And yeah, pretty cool. How far is my Maw from 4? Oh, forever away. Well, that's how it goes. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any final thoughts, Corey?
I do have a final thought, right? So the final thought is, if you're getting into Guild v Guild, I would always recommend find a guild that you enjoy playing with, find people that share the same passion for it as you do, and then also use your chest wisely. Farm if you want to farm, but no matter what, you win or you lose, it's just a game mode.
Thank you so much, Corey. My advice would be, if you're having trouble getting into it, find some good friends that are way better than you, and then let them help you out. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Corey. Everyone go check out his channel. I guess it wasn't that recently, but you did fairly recently pass 3,000 subs, which is freaking awesome.
Yes.
Congrats.
Thank you.
I'll also throw this at the end. I'm so in love with Pokemon Go. And when I was first starting, Corey was giving me all the advice in the world. So we both hit a shiny Rayquaza this weekend. So you know the vibes are good. Thank you, guys. Share with your mother. Subscribe to Corey. And we'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.